Hello and welcome to HITC Sport, and yes, I am back. I know what you're thinking.
Oh, Irish guy, where did you go? How dare you leave us? You must sit in that chair 365 days of the year and do nothing but rant about
Paul McShane for a living. Well, you're in luck today, lads, because I am literally just in the door 5 minutes. I'm absolutely burnt to a crisp and feel like just yelling at something for no reason. To be honest, I mean, it's not too bad. It only hurts when I move or breathe. But alright, let's go. This is a pretty simple, straightforward idea because, lads, I was literally sitting on a plane not 20 minutes ago. Alright, let's see. I'm going to go with a starting 11 of footballers who really pissed off the Republic of Ireland over the last 20 odd years. Dudu Uwate. Oh, this was just ridiculous. I'm sorry, but this was enough to have this man packaged off into a little box and dumped into the River Liffey. Most of you won't have a clue who or what a Dudu Uwate was, but yeah, I can remember thinking in the summer 2005 that he was simply the spawn of Satan himself. Ireland were 2-0 up against Israel after just 11 minutes in June 2005. During our World Cup qualifier, and we looked certain to qualify for the tournament. But considering under Brian Kirby had all the mental fortitude of a melted ice cream, it was 2-2 at half time before the goalkeeper, Uwate, became public enemy number 1. In injury time, with Ireland desperately pushing for a winner, he hits Andy O'Brien, and then he feigns injury and gets O'Brien sent off. I'm sorry, but how does that work? He was the one who hit him. Had the ref spent the last night on the goddamn piss, he had hit O'Brien. It's like me going out tomorrow and punching an old man in the face, and then watching him get locked up for charges against manslaughter. Like, it makes no sense. William Gallas. Right, William Gallas. Yeah, he was the fellow who put the ball in the Irish net to rob us of the 2010 World Cup. Maybe I shouldn't get too annoyed considering it was Thierry Henry's hands, which were the real evil genius behind this. But still, I mean, sorry Gallas, this is a goal which made me feel like chewing out my own face from the inside out, so I have to at least acknowledge you. Your goal literally made me want to put out my teeth and feed them to my goddamn cat. And the worrying thing is, I didn't even have a cat, so what the f could I be feeding them to? Paul McShane. See, the thing is, me and Paul McShane have had a chat on Instagram, and you know what? Maybe I have gone too hard on him. You know, when I say things like chucking him on a football pitch is up there with burning down an orphanage, and that the only thing worse than the existence of Paul McShane on a football pitch is type 2 onset polio. Maybe I've gone in too hard, but then I remember the ball was lofted into the box during that game against the French. When you have Thierry Henry in attendance lurking over your shoulder, it might be an idea to clear the ball. Like, I'm not a professional footballer, but stick your foot through it. Or, you know, just get rid of the fucking thing. Something KSI no doubt sends in a group text to his former lovers. He didn't. Fran scored and I spent that night trying to drown myself in a bowl of Cheerios. Have you ever tried to drown yourself in a bowl of Cheerios, lads? It's not much fun. Darren OD. Darren OD? More like Darren O'Dear. I'm sorry, I don't know what I expected. You put a lad barely fit enough to grace the turf of both Blackpool and Toronto FC into a backline against the future world champions. It's like sticking your face in a goddamn dishwasher. It's going to end in a bloody mess. October 2012, 6-1 against the Germans at home. This was a World Cup qualifier, our heaviest defeat since 1971. OD did not help himself, giving away a penalty and just generally defending with all the poise and grace of an epileptic badger. This is a man who only played 10 times for his country and now turns out at the age of 32 for East Kilbridge. To be honest, I probably shouldn't go in too hard on this lad. I probably should let go some of my bitterness from having to sit through 90 minutes of that Clockwork Orange style some 7 years ago. But instead I applaud you, Darren. It takes a real achievement to represent your country when you've spent your entire career playing with your shoelaces no doubt tied together. David Alaba. I could have gone for Patrice Evra for offering us a World Cup playoff rematch on the goddamn PlayStation. Yeah, cheers for that, Patrice. But instead, no, let's go for David Alaba. Purely for the fact that his last minute goal at the Aviva to force Austria 2-2 draw in March 2013 essentially struck yet another dagger into our World Cup hopes. He'd go on to score the winner in Vienna 6 months later, essentially getting Giovanni Trapattoni sacked. Although, considering Trapp's football was about as entertaining as an episode of Love Island.
Oh, let's see what fame-hungry trollop is gonna toss someone off under the breakfast table this Tuesday morning.
Maybe that was a good thing for all concerned. Jack Grealish. Maybe I should go easy on Jack Grealish. After all, it can't be easy going through your whole adult life looking as though you were born coated in Burger King grease, but also to spend your days getting punted in the head by fat brummy plumbers called Pete. But listen, Jack, I mean, this fella just used our country, our national flag, something men have died for, as basically a set of training wheels, as an audition tape for the country he really cared about. He played over 20 games at underage level for Ireland. I'm sorry, lad. We are a proud country, not just some 20-stone Sheila stinking of cigarette smoke and dried up sambuca from the southeast of Magaluf to prepare yourself for when you want to search for the real love of your life. No, like we are an actual country. I think it's just because he turned out to be such a good player, which is why I'm dripping with bitterness, and why my tears are more salty than the goddamn Atlantic Ocean. After his performances last season, I'd have loved to chuck Grealish in the Irish midfield, not spend another 3 years watching Jeff Hendrick slump around the pitch, while management keeps Glenn Whelan's phone number in their back pocket just in case. Declan Rice. Again, same reason. Look, I've made about 2 or 3 videos on Declan Rice, so I'm not going to keep going about him, but unlike Grealish, Declan Rice has actually been called up by England, so at least this fella hasn't completely fushed his international career down the toilet, but give it time. Rice played underage football with Ireland for 3 years. Always spoke about how proud he was to represent our proud nation, and then just chucked all that in the bin as soon as England came calling. Why does this always happen? Stephen Ireland. Nowadays, Stephen Ireland's football career looks in the same condition as Shane McGowan's teeth. It's essentially spent the last 10 years sliding off a cliff, getting battered and bruised every step of the way. Now he's 32, rocked up at Bolton, just loitering around the training pitch, no doubt masquerading as a human condom. Back in his early 20s though, this man was being hailed as the second coming of Christ, holding down his own at a newly rich Man City. He scored 13 goals in 50 games during the first season of the Sheikh Mansour era, and scored 4 goals in 6 games for his country, including winners against Wales, which was the first ever goal at Croke Park. Pretty fitting that it was scored by a man with his name. And then a last minute goal against San Marino. I swear to God, if Ireland hadn't scored that against a team of plumbers and part-time fishermen, we'd have probably just cancelled our football team out of sheer goddamn embarrassment. And then it all went wrong. Soon he starts pulling out of qualifiers due to the death of both of his grandmothers, women who would end up reading about their deaths in the Irish Times. Alright, the reason for his absence was because his girlfriend supposedly had a miscarriage. Alright, very sad. But then just say that, don't weave this web of lies. And definitely do not start inventing the deaths of relatives when you're one of the most famous men in the country. And ever since then he's exiled himself from the squad, probably out of sheer embarrassment, choosing to never play for us again. Yeah, cheers Stephen, I really enjoyed watching Paul Green play over 20 games like a diabetic goat. Toto Scalacci. Nobody here is going to remember this name, and I wasn't even alive for this to happen. But yeah, Italia 90, he scores the only goal against Ireland in a World Cup quarter-final. I mean, it's probably for the best. Can you imagine our country in a World Cup semi-final? Half the population would probably be struck down with goddamn liver failure. Antoine Griezmann. Oh, Antoine Griezmann. If it wasn't for this man, who knows where Ireland would have ended up at Euro 2016. It was a familiar situation. 1-0 up against the French at half-time, vying to inflict revenge for what happened 7 years earlier. And then it all unraveled. Griezmann, through no real fault of his own, bagged 2 goals before drawing a red card from Shane Duffy, all the while celebrating like an utter gambine as I littered my pints with tears of utter rage and despair. Thierry Henry, the big one, the creme de la creme with extra cheese. If this man had visited Dublin again within 12 months of this incident happening, he'd no doubt have been in real danger of being struck down by a goddamn bus. And judging by how the taxi driver spoke about him for the next 5 years, they'd have probably cut through several streets to mow him down. 1-0 up against the French, and moments away from penalties in a World Cup qualifier against a team of Champions League winners and budding superstars. And then Henry decides to handball not once but twice on the line before assisting William Gallas's knockout strike. I'm sorry, but you are one of the best footballers in the world. You've just lifted the treble with Barcelona, and you need to cheat in a game against the likes of Liam Lawrence and Paul McShane. That's like playing poker with a blind 7-year-old and choosing to sneak a look at his goddamn cards. Have you no shame, Thierry? And what's more, taking a seat next to Richard Dunn straight after the match to console him. That's essentially like me robbing an old lady and then just giving her a pat on the back. Oh, sorry for robbing your handbag. Good luck with sleeping on the street, but here's a nice conciliatory pat on the back. That was the moment that made me realise that it was possible to admire a footballer's talents, and also wish more than anything that they would be immediately fed to a family of ravenous badgers. Anyway, that's the end of the video, lads. A horrific video. Shocking. I was in pain every moment of that. Don't you worry. But yeah, literally just off the plane, I'm pretty much dead. I need my sleep. But yeah, I just needed to pretty much yell, cause sore everywhere. But yeah, anyway, let me know your comments in the comment section below. Next week I'll be back with the proper videos that that aren't such a shambles as this. Let me know comments and all that. Like, share, and subscribe. Twitter and Instagram is there. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.